You may have noticed that most of the elements in the periodic table are metals. All metals have similar physical and chemical properties, but not identical. By looking at a small number of metals, we can investigate how they vary chemically. We will look at sodium. Put a small amount of sodium into a bath filled with water. Sodium and water react explosively. It produces the alkali sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Potassium reacts cold water. Violent reaction produces metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Sodium reacts cold water. Strong reaction produces metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Lithium and calcium reacts cold water. Moderate reaction produces metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas. I'm showing you the reactivity of the different metals. Magnesium, aluminium, zinc, and iron react with water here. Each test tube is filled with metal, magnesium, aluminum, zinc, and iron. Add deionized water, at room temperature, to observe the reaction of each metal with water. Only the surface of the magnesium is giving off bubbles. Compare the reaction of sodium metal with water. The reaction of magnesium is slower, and for the reaction of other metals with water, their reaction is extremely slow. Magnesium reacts with steam. First add the moist sand to the bottom of the boiling tube, then place the magnesium strip to the middle of the tube. Light the Bunsen burner and slowly use an igniter to ignite the release gas. The gas burns and turns fiery ray. Zinc reacts with steam. Magnesium, zinc and iron react with steam. Metal oxide is formed, but aluminium does not seem to react with steam, because aluminium metal is usually covered with a very thin layer of aluminium oxide. The oxide layer protects the metal from reaction. If the experiment is repeated with dilute hydrochloric acid, add a small amount of magnesium, aluminium, zinc, and iron samples into the test tube, and add dilute hydrochloric acid to each test tube. Magnesium dissolves in acid and produces a violent reaction. Aluminium and zinc slowly dissolve, and will only react steadily with acid. Finally, observe the reaction of iron with acid. It will only react slowly. The reactions will produce a colorless gas. Magnesium, aluminium, zinc and iron react with dilute hydrochloric acid. Metal chloride and hydrogen gas are formed. Test the reaction of copper and tin with hydrochloric acid. The reaction of both copper and tin does not come immediately, and remain the same. After 2 days, observe the changes of copper and tin in the test tube. No sign reaction. After 20 days, the test tube with copper turns green, and the size of tin metal becomes smaller. According to the experiment results, try to rank the metals from most to least chemically reactive. Here's the reactivity series. As you can see, we've ordered the elements from the most reactive to the least reactive. Here's gold. And you can see that all of these elements are more reactive than gold. That means that any of these elements could displace gold from its compound.